Okay, we're going to come over here to where the asparagus is. Now there's not a whole lot to see from here, but you can kind of see some of the fronds. I missed this the other day on the tour because I'm a little bit technology talent challenged. I can't even say it right. When it comes to the pause and play button, I kind of didn't get that going and went through a whole section that didn't get recorded. So anyway, I just wanted to show you the asparagus bed and how wet the garden is. Do you see how crazy wet that is? And do you see all that green that's in there? There is nothing planted in there except for the fact that last year at the end of the year, I let some cilantro grow and I wasn't able to come and pull that out after it started going to seed. And this is what happens. Then when my husband comes in and tills for me, I end up with an entire field of cilantro, which is fine. I will pick that out as I go to plant. But just so you know that that's what that is. There isn't anything new planted in there. That's just what happens when you let cilantro go to seed. And then when your husband comes in to till, it gets spread all over the garden. But that's okay. I pick a lot of it as microgreens, put it in my salads, use it in my Mexican food, use it in some of my Italian food. You'd be surprised how much I use cilantro. And we really love it, which is a good thing since I have a lot of it, right? Okay, let's get back to the asparagus bed. So, anytime that you have asparagus, you want to pick them when they're pretty good size. I'm going to show you some that I've already picked. These are all pretty good size. Put them down here so you can kind of see. This is about as small as you want it. So if you see my pinky, it's about the size, a little bit bigger around than a pencil. Anything smaller than a pencil, you want to let go and go to frond, which is what these little frilly things are. Those are fronds. And what happens is, as the summer progresses, these get big and bushy, and this whole area will be like a big frond. Lots and lots of fronds, kind of like that right there. Only this whole bed will look like that. And what happens is, that saves the energy for shoots of asparagus to come out next year. So you want that. You want to leave them in all year long. At the very end of the year, you want to take those down. You can burn them. I've burned them. I've cut them. I've done all kinds of things. And if you take them down, you'll have less pests in your garden. If you leave them up, it's kind of a place for pests to come in and till in. I've done it always. I've done it, left it till spring and burned it off. I've cut them in the fall, and typically I think if you cut them or burn them in the fall, that's probably the better way to do it. So anyway, so when you find that you have an asparagus spear that you want to harvest, you want to find one that's a good size and make sure that it's tall enough. You can do them short too. They'll be very, very tender when they're short. I want to show you some of these and how big they are. Aren't they gorgeous? So when they get tall enough, you're going to basically just bend it to the ground, and it will literally snap. So you want to snap it off at the ground. I've got one in here that I'm going to show you. So this one right here, snap it, just bend it. I usually put a finger behind it to help it snap, and it just snaps right off. That one's a little small, a little short, but I wanted to show you. So, okay, that's pretty much how you do it. And then to store them, I take them, I rinse them off, I put a cloth, a dampened cloth, in either a container with a lid, or you can use a plastic bag, and wrap that wettish cloth around the bottoms and store those in your refrigerator. You can also put them in a jar of water, but I typically have way too many to put into a jar of water, so that's why I do it that way. Now another fun thing, my Tom Thumb peas. Do you remember the babies that don't need support? I want to show you that flower. The peas have a beautiful flower, and that will be a pea. Isn't that great? So there you go. So there are several Tom Thumbs. Sorry about my hands being in the way. There are several Tom Thumbs that are flowering. And then we have over here, I can't really get over there yet. Oh, I do have a cardboard. I'll go over there. Do you see them starting to crawl up the trellis? So those are the Amish peas. And then I still have to get that trellis in for those others. It's got about 3 out there that are ready to start climbing up. And I typically do the trellis before they get to that point. But since it's been so wet, I've not done much of that lately. So anyway, so there you go. A couple of other things that I wanted to tell you is that I'm a little bit of a garden geek. I spreadsheet a billion things. I spreadsheet everything that I grow, what its tolerances are, how quick it takes to go through the ground, how it does well with other plants. There's something called companion planting. If you don't know what that is, it's basically if you plant 2 types of plants together, they help each other in some way, either fending off insects or perhaps helping each other grow, helping each other flavor. And then there are some things that just really don't grow well together. So that's the basis of companion planting. So I have a huge chart that I've done for years and years and years of what likes to grow together and what doesn't. So if anybody's interested, I'd be happy to share that with you. But it's not only things that I've heard from other people, but it's also experiences that I've experienced myself. Now, there's something else I want to harvest with you, if I can find a way over there, because I use cardboard a lot for my paths. As you can see, it's not very pretty, but it works. It gives me a place to stand when it's so insanely wet. Anyway, so here you can see how I am really fighting to get that weeded, and I don't have a really good way to get in there yet. I'm gonna have to get some cardboard down and get in there. Hopefully this weekend it's supposed to clear up a little bit, so hopefully we'll see that. Okay, here we are at our radishes, and I wanted to show you. Do you see? That one's ready to harvest, so we're just gonna pull it out. This one over here is ready to harvest, and we're gonna pull that out as well. So basically, you just grab it. You want to grab it and gently rock it so it pulls free from the dirt, and then pull it up. And there's our first radish. Knock away some of the dirt. I'll wash it off when I take it in. Now, if I had my sink, I don't know if some of you saw earlier, I have a sink on the edge of my garden that I want to be able to rinse my produce off before I actually take it in the house. But yes, if I had my sink, I would do that. I want to show you this. This is typical, especially if you've had a lot of rain. Do you see how they split like that? That's from an extreme amount of rain. They just split. On occasion, you can have some insects go in and help you with that. But this one is not from an insect. This is just simply, it just split because of the amount of rain. Okay, I mentioned that I'm a little bit of a garden nerd. This is my plan of how I'll be planting this year. It's just a quick drawing of my garden and how I expect things to go in. It doesn't always go exactly as it's drawn, but it's one of the things that I do, as well as the companion issues and checking out all the seeds, things like that. On the other side, I have a chart that I've used for a long time that has like the dates. Our last frost date is May 15th in 5A. So that's what this is. It gives you an idea of when to start planting inside. Gives you ideas of when, is the best times according to that latest frost date to start planting. My things are not out yet. I know a lot of people in the area have planted out already, but mine are not out. The other thing is that I do a lot of soil. And you can mix your own. You can buy potting soil in the store. I try to buy potting soil that has a lot of compost and things like that in it, so that it feeds the plants after they've started seeding. I actually seed first, typically in a sterile seeding mix, and then I move to a potting soil and pot from there. And I did do a video yesterday on planting seeds, I did watermelon seeds in a bag, and I set them directly in the potting soil. Watermelon are extremely heavy feeders, and they do not like their roots disturbed, so I went ahead and planted them directly in the potting soil. This is how the watermelon seeds look today. They are in these tubs. If you can see, there's the potting soil that's in there. They're marked, which I missed on the video yesterday as well. So these are the Sweet Dakota Rose watermelon that I put in. And I will also put seeds outside. I just wanted to try this year to see how it goes. And these are the Wilson Sweets. So that's how they are. They're in here on a hot mat. And we're trying to keep that temperature nice and warm because watermelons obviously love really warm water or really warm soil. Also, this is a cutting that I am trying to do of lilacs. So I'm hoping to get those rooted. We'll see how that goes. It's my first time doing that, so I'd like to be able to plant a lilac bush. So that's about it, you guys. I hope you enjoy your gardening journey, and I hope you stay with me through the rest of my gardening journey this year. Thanks.